So today I'll be ranking some of your most popular diets that are out there currently that you find on social media or you find on TVs, ads, magazines, wherever you find them, I'll be ranking them. Let me first put a disclaimer out here to let you know that I am not a registered dietitian or nutritionist. I'm not here to give you advice on exactly what diet you should follow. I'm simply giving you my opinion and recommendation based off of my research and knowledge as a personal trainer and an online weight loss coach. So if you are new to this channel, my name is Terry. I'm a certified personal trainer and an online weight loss coach. So I'm here to give you information based off of research and knowledge that I know to help you with your fitness goals, as well as some tech videos as well, because I'm a tech lover myself. So you will see some fitness video from me and tech videos. So if you do enjoy tech and you need help with your fitness goals, be sure to subscribe down below for future videos. All right, so let's get started with this ranking. We have 4 categories. I have what works the best, what works well, what you should try, and don't do it at all. Okay, so we have 12 different diets here that I find to be probably the most popular right now and what you find trending on social media. Every single diet out there works for each individual and it's very specific towards that individual, but I do find some diets to be a little more ridiculous than others, and that's why you guys see this category of don't do it. So we get started here with the ranking, and we could go from left to right in no particular order. The first one here is gonna be the keto diet, and the keto diet is a diet where you eat minimum carbs, so pretty restrictive in terms of carbs, but allows you to eat fats and protein as your main fuel source. And ideally you want to be in ketosis from this diet, and your body's going to start using fat as a fuel source. However, just because you use fat as a fuel source, it doesn't mean you're going to start burning stored body fat. All right, so you still need to be in a calorie deficit in order to lose body fat. And this diet originally was created for epilepsy. It was not intended for weight loss. So over time, people started seeing this diet as a weight loss diet because a lot of people just started dropping weight on the scale very quickly. And you will because you're not eating that many carbs, so you're not gonna hold as much water weight, so the scale number is gonna look great when you do this diet. However, I do find this diet very restrictive, so in my opinion this diet should be in the don't do it list, because it's hard for anyone or any individual who is accustomed to eating carbs, like myself for example, unless you're willing to change your whole lifestyle around eating protein and fat most of the time and minimizing your carbs, then it's very hard for you to stick to this diet. The next diet here we're going to look at is intermittent fasting, and this is also a very popular diet along with keto, and some people actually pair this up together, intermittent fasting and keto together, which I think is a ridiculous idea and you should never do that. I feel like this diet, it's already restrictive enough. In terms of the keto diet, it's already restrictive enough, so and pairing that with intermittent fasting is, you're just calling for a disaster to happen. So intermittent fasting, a lot of people probably won't agree with me on this opinion, but I think intermittent fasting is a diet that works well with a lot of individuals out there because of their busy schedule. However, fasting does have its flaws and its issues. If you are a person that binge a lot and you find yourself having a hard time controlling how much you eat, this might not be the best diet for you, because within that certain time frame, for example, if you fasted for 16 hours and you're eating within that 8-hour period, you might overeat because you just feel so hungry from fasting that you end up just overeating and you just have binge episodes because of the way the diet is structured. So if you are a person that finds yourself binging a lot, I do not recommend you to go on intermittent fasting, because it's probably not the best diet out there for you. There's probably better diets that are better suited for you. But the intermittent fasting, probably a lot of people won't agree with me on this, but I think it's a diet that works well. I find it more of a strategy than a diet, but I'll explain that later on in this video of how you can actually use some of these diets and strategies to kind of figure out your own type of diet and what works for you. All right, so the next diet here is a carnivore diet, and it's a diet that's been popularized the last couple of years, and it's the exact opposite of the vegan diet. You only eat meat, and this is a don't do it diet for me, and I think a lot of people shouldn't do this diet because it's a diet that's not sustainable at all. You're not eating any vegetables, you're barely getting any fiber in, so your butthole is gonna hurt when you use the bathroom. I have a friend of mine, Jordan Syatt, you probably know who he is. He did a challenge, I believe, where he went on the carnivore diet and only ate meat. I don't think this diet works. I'm not saying this diet doesn't work, but I just don't think this diet is sustainable for a lot of people out there, especially for the general public. Okay, next we have IIFYM, if it fits your macro, pretty much a diet where you have your set macronutrients, your carbs, fats, and your protein. And as long as you fit those macronutrients with foods that you eat throughout the day, and you hit those 3 numbers, then you're going to see results. And yes, you are going to see results if you hit those 3 macronutrients, because ideally it'll put you in a calorie deficit. However, I feel like social media and Instagram itself, the past decade, has ruined the idea of IIFYM, especially when it first started, because a lot of people think that you could just eat whatever you want when you're on this diet, and you could fit in whatever you like. And ideally, yes, you can fit in whatever you like and whatever you want, but it's probably not the smartest thing to do, because you're not eating nutrient dense food options, and you're not going to be full, and you're eating candy and junk, which is not what this diet is about. This diet is about finding flexibility in your lifestyle and allowing yourself to enjoy the food you want without depriving yourself. So this diet is definitely a diet I feel like it works well, and you should try it. So it's pretty much in between these two. I think it works well if you have the information for it, and as long as you do it correctly and eat nutrient dense food options, then this diet is going to be amazing, and I think it works really well. However, if you are a person that finds yourself struggling with numbers and very meticulous and end up being stressed out because you have to hit these numbers, then this diet is not for you, and you probably shouldn't use this diet. So I will put this in between try it and works well. If you have the knowledge, like I said, if you have the knowledge for it and you know how it works without filling your macros with crap, then yes, it works well. But if you're new and you want to learn about nutrition, I think you should try it for sure to understand about macronutrients and how to read the nutrition label. So in between, try it and works well. Okay, so next is water fasting, a more restrictive version of intermittent fasting. So you're fasting, I think, for, I'm not sure how long, I think 1 or 2 weeks, and you're not eating anything, and you're just drinking water, and you're letting your body detox, which I hate the word detox, because your body does that on its own already. So it is a don't do for me, because I don't believe in not eating at all. Okay, I think there's periods where you shouldn't eat, and there's periods where you should eat. So water fasting is a no-go for me. All right, detoxes. Pretty much everything that's out there, detox tea, apple cider vinegar, cleanses, and all these recipes where they say, oh, drink this in the morning or drink this at night and it'll detox your body. Don't do it. Your body has its own way of detoxing, all right? It's called having kidneys and a liver, all right? Both those things detoxes your body for you, as long as you feed it with the right nutrient dense food options, such as your vegetables that are high in fiber, your fruits, and making sure you have a balanced diet and you're not eating crap all the time. Your body will detox on its own, and you don't need a detox drink or detox recipe in order for you to see weight loss results. Okay, so next diet here we're gonna go over is the vegan diet, and I feel like it's the exact same as the carnivore diet, so I'm gonna put it here in the don't do it list, because it's very restrictive and it's hard for you to get in enough protein throughout the day as a vegan without getting in the extra calories. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible, because I know a lot of people who are vegan who get in enough protein. If you do want to be a vegan, I think you should go vegetarian. That way you can still get protein from other sources such as yogurt and eggs as well, because if you're just a vegan, you're not going to be able to eat any dairy product as well. So if you do go, I would say, on the vegan route, go vegetarian instead, which allows you to have a little more options when it comes to protein. The next diet here is the Weight Watchers diet, and this diet is a diet where you just follow the system and they give you a number goal to hit daily, and each food you eat has a specific number to it. And once you eat the food, you add up all the food you eat, and you want to stay within that number range that they give you. And I think, to be honest, this diet works well, and you should try it, because it's similar to the IIFYM, right? It's similar to the macro diet where you follow numbers, and as long as you hit this range of numbers, you're going to see results. And it doesn't limit you to actually what food you eat, but I think Weight Watchers does a better job in terms of teaching people how to eat more nutrient dense food options, because a lot of the crappy foods, for example, low nutrient dense food options, like let's say in candy or a muffin, those numbers will be very high. So for example, if your goal number for the day is 20, a muffin might be a 10 out of 20, or like maybe a 7 out of 20. So that's going to take up a lot of your daily intake already. So Weight Watchers does do a good job with those numbers, and it pushes you towards eating more nutrient dense food options. So it's definitely a system I think you should try, because it kind of teaches you how to start looking at food, but it's not restricting you like these diets down here with what food you can eat. All right, next here we have juice cleanse, and I can automatically just put this here. Just don't do it. Don't do it. It's just like the detoxes. You do not need to cleanse your body as long as you feed it properly with nutrient dense food options, and you feed it with the right proper food, and don't eat like crap. You'll be fine. And I feel like juice cleanses have been popular in the past. I think it's died down a bit, but there's still a lot of people who believe in juice cleanses, and they feel like they need to go on cleanses for like 30 days when they feel like they're eating like crap. Just don't eat like crap, right? Just don't eat like crap, and you'll be fine, and your body will be happy, and you don't need to cleanse your body every couple months. So save your money. Don't buy juice cleanses. They're super expensive. I feel like they're a waste of time. So next here we have counting calories. I wouldn't say this is a diet, but more so a method, just like these three up here: intermittent fasting, IIFYM macros, and Weight Watchers. So I will also put this in the works well and you should try it. I'll say more in the works well tab. So definitely a little better than you should try it, because it teaches you pretty much the basics of nutrition, right? How you should look at a nutrition label, and how you should count your calories, because with any diet out there, you need to count your calories. Whether you're counting it or not, your body is counting calories, and you need to be in a calorie deficit in order for you to lose body fat. This teaches you how to do that. It teaches you the basics of nutrition, and I'm a firm believer that if a diet teaches you the basics of nutrition, it's going to help you long term and help you be sustainable with your weight loss journey, as long as you're using that information correctly. However, I will say counting calories can be obsessive over time if you just get yourself drawn into the numbers and feel like you have to hit those numbers exactly every single day. Same thing with if it fits your macros, right? You're gonna have numbers that you're gonna have to hit, and if you get too obsessive, I can't even say this word. If you get too obsessive with this number, it can hinder you psychologically. So just be aware of that, and don't be too obsessive with this number. Okay, so next diet we have here is the Whole30 diet, and the Whole30 diet is a diet where you restrict yourself, I believe, from bread, sugar, alcohol, and you eat whole foods only for 30 days. And this diet here is probably within the don't do it and try category. So let me move this down a bit so you know what is what here. So I'll say it's probably within these two, the don't do it and try it category. I think it's good because it pushes you to eat whole foods and nutrient dense food options. However, I would say don't do it if you feel like it's going to restrict you too much and you can't enjoy some of your favorite foods for 30 days. So I'm a firm believer that you should be disciplined enough to go through your diet and restrict yourself on certain occasions. But at the same time, you need to have that flexibility with your diet. If you're not flexible with your diet, and you don't give yourself that flexibility, you're gonna restrain, constrict, and end up binging at the end of your diet. So we don't want that. So try to give yourself that flexibility. That's why I chose these diets up here, because they don't restrict you to any type of foods out there, but they do require you to have the knowledge in order for it to be successful. And that way you don't just eat crap and you're eating mainly nutrient dense food options. Okay, last but not least, we have intuitive eating. And this is probably what everyone needs to strive towards. And if you can get to this level of eating, then you made it, I think. If you can eat intuitively, then you made it. However, this level of eating requires you to have the knowledge and basic nutrition knowledge. So that's why I can't really say it works the best. It definitely works well, and you should try it. So I'll put it in between works well and works the best. I think it's a goal that everyone should strive towards. And if you can eat intuitively at the end of a diet, and you can understand what you're eating without having to count your calories all the time, unless you have a specific goal and you want to, like, let's say for example, get ready for the beach, right? Then maybe you want to count your calories. But if you don't have any specific goals, I think on a day-to-day basis, you should be eating intuitively, knowing that you should prioritize eating protein prioritize eating fruits and vegetables, and prioritize eating nutrient-dense food options. What actually works the best, I would say, right? Let me bring up a text here. So what works the best is what works for you. Okay, so if you want to find a diet that works the best, you need to find what works for you. And that can be a number of different things. It can be, maybe taking a little bit of intermittent fasting and combining it with calorie counting, right? For example, you're a very busy individual out there. You're trying to lose weight, right? But you don't want to eat all the time. So you choose intermittent fasting, but at the same time, you're counting your calories and you're understanding that you need to be in a calorie deficit in order for you to lose weight. So there's 3 requirements that I find that you need with every single diet that's out there in order for it to be successful long term and in order for you to have a sustainable fat loss results. Those 3 things are: number 1, you're gonna need to be in a calorie deficit. That's number 1. I can't even spell. Okay, so that's number 1. You need to be in a calorie deficit. Okay, that's number 1. And number 2, you need to make sure you prioritize protein. Okay, protein has to be a priority when you're having any type of diet or following any type of diet that's out there. And number 3, it needs to be sustainable long term. If you can't follow the diet and you can't do it long term, it's not going to work for you. So these 3 things are super important. I would say, besides from protein, probably add in here, you're going to need nutrient dense food options. Okay, so I would say these 3 things in particular are very important when it comes to choosing a diet that works for you, and what works best is going to be these 3 things. Number 1, you got to be in a calorie deficit. Number 2, you got to make sure you have enough protein and nutrient dense food options. And number 3, you're going to need it to be sustainable long term. It doesn't matter if you can only do it for 30 days. You go on this cleanse for about a week or 2 weeks or 30 days, and then you go off of it, and then that's it. What you gotta do afterwards, right? You gotta ask yourself, what am I gonna do afterwards after I finish this diet? Do I see myself doing this diet long term? And if you don't, then it's probably not a diet you should do. So let me know down in the comment section of what you would like to see put on this list. Is there any diets that I'm missing? And also, do you agree with what I have here? And these are the 3 things, like I said, that you need to follow in order for you to have a successful fat loss diet. So when it comes down to finding a diet that works for you, you need to make sure it's sustainable and you can adhere towards the diet. It doesn't matter if your friend Karen lost 50 pounds off this diet and is raving about it and telling you, hey, you should go on this diet. No, it doesn't matter, okay? It does not matter how many pounds your friend lost off this diet, because even if they lost a lot of weight off this diet, it's all about sustainability, and it's all about being able to keep the weight off and not regain it. We don't want to go through that process of regaining weight and losing it, or regaining and losing it. All right, we want to be able to keep it off and be able to sustain that results long term. So if you did find this video helpful, make sure you hit that thumbs up button to help with the YouTube algorithm, and also subscribe down below for future content. And if you do like these ranking videos and you'd like to see me do ones for fitness trends in terms of workouts, comment down below and I'll do one for that as well. With that being said, my name is T. I'll see you guys in the next video.